By now, I'm sure most of us have seen the Draymond Green video. But before we get into the actual video, I want to talk about the process of how we even found out this was happening. So first off, news breaks late Wednesday night or Thursday morning, depending on which one you saw first, that there was a physical altercation at the Warriors practice today that has the team considering disciplinary action towards Draymond Green. At first, everybody's like, okay, whatever. We'll talk about that in a second because that speaks to Draymond's perceived character, meaning the fact that there's potential punishment that everyone is hearing about. There was some sort of physical altercation and everybody's like, it's Draymond, whatever. That says something there. But following that, the Warriors had planned a press conference that Thursday where Bob Myers and Steve Kerr spoke about the physical altercation that most of us don't know anything about yet. So first off, shout out to Kendra Andrews. She's a reporter for ESPN. She did a good job of live tweeting the events that was happening at this press conference. So once again, Thursday, October 6th, the practice was Wednesday the 5th. The video dropped Friday the 7th. Keep that in mind. This is on the 6th, that Thursday. Bob Myers said that Draymond Green apologized to the Warriors this morning, but he did not practice with the team. Myers said Green's punishment will be dealt with internally. So we're like, okay, he apologized for something. He didn't practice, and there's going to be some sort of punishment, but it's going to be dealt with internally. Myers says that he doesn't feel any impending contract negotiations or renewals played a hand in the altercation. He said that this camp preseason has been the best vibe he witnessed in his time with the Warriors. Now, that's hilarious to say now that we've all seen the video. I don't know what vibe people was on. If this been the best vibe and this, this punch happened is crazy to me, but it could have been great outside of that. I'm not saying he's lying. I just think it's ironic. Green apologized to the coaches and the team. Jordan Poole was in attendance and then went home. Space is good, Myers said. Myers deferred to Steve Kerr when asked if Green will practice tomorrow. Kerr will speak momentarily. Okay, so Myers is like, Steve Kerr, you the coach, you handle this. Myers said he doesn't expect Draymond Green to miss any games due to any punishment from the team. Interesting, because once again, at this point, we haven't seen the video, but he knew. And I'm sure he saw this video, but still he's understanding that, boys will be boys to an extent, and Draymond Green's not going to miss any time. Then she continues, Kerr says Green won't practice tomorrow, but added the entire team will be off. Kerr expects Green to rejoin the group on Saturday. So Kerr expected him to be back on Saturday. And then we get the video that comes out on Friday. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'll just play it real quick for everybody. There's no sound, but you got Draymond Green right here. Jordan Poole's right over here. I'm just gonna pause it real quick because every other player looks like they're either looking every other player looks like they're either looking at a coach, maybe being instructed on some sort of drill. If they are talking back and forth right now, no one's paying them any mind and just focused on something else. Like Clay's looking a different direction, and all these guys' attention is focused on whatever's happening, a little bit past that, which is probably a coach running a drill. So look, everybody's just chilling. Green starts to walk over. That coach just says, let me follow him. In his chest, shove, punch. And then I just want to point out, you see how quickly the knees buckled? He was going to sleep. And then he's basically on the ground. And then they, able to separate him. I don't know if Green got any more punches off, any more hits off, stuff like that. But once again, chest to chest, push, punch. And I also point out, this is crazy. I'm not trying to make light of this situation, but it is really crazy. Green's feet left the ground for this punch. Like, his feet are in the air. The punch goes viral. Literally, that clip has 34 million views, which is insane. And the NBA community is split basically down the middle on the reactions. Former NBA player Steven Jackson, current host of All the Smoke, had this to say.
And there's no reason to sucker punch a young fella, you know what I'm saying? But I told Draymond last night, he got to fix that situation with Poole. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't benefit from it at all. He got to be the big bro and go over there and tell her, bro, look, I spazzed out. You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da-da. But you never hit the little homies like that in practice. All your teammates, man. You never do that. I've never done that, bro. Never done that.
Okay, I get it. Talking about never hitting the teammates, can't hit the little homie. I understand some stuff there. This was Richard Jefferson's response on ESPN.
When you're talking about a path forward back to being amicable teammates, what does that path look like to you?
Man, this is about a job. We're here to win championships. We're here to make money. I'm not here to be your friend. Personally, I don't even care if we're like that close of teammates. As long as we win and as long as when I step between those lines, I can count on you. That is the #1 thing that everyone cares about in basketball and in sports. You don't have to like the people that you work with. We We've seen it happen. You know, we've seen Kobe and Shaq break up. We've seen so many things happen over the past, 76 years of basketball that there is ways to come back. There is ways to move forward. Doesn't mean you're going to rock with somebody, but there is a way to move forward. It's just these things happen more. It happened in 2016 when we won a championship. There was an incident where there were punches thrown on our team. I'm not going to say between who, but that is something that happened.
So I thought his take was really interesting. Your coworkers, you got to figure this out. He even alludes to some event that happened in 2016 when he was on that team when they won a championship. There was punches thrown. They still got it done. Interesting perspective. Of course, some other players around the league chimed in on Twitter. Trae Young says Draymond is trying to get to LA. Damn. Isaiah Thomas says, all I'm saying is you ain't responding with a punch if that's somebody you really rock with, especially after a push. But I ain't into practice. I didn't hear what was being said, so I'm gonna leave it alone, but damn. Evan Fournier says, there's no way you can get back to being teammates after a punch like that. And then shout out to Ja Morant, he just gives the eyes. And then finally, the day after the video comes out, Saturday, October 8th, the man himself steps in front of the podium for some questions.
I was wrong for my actions that took place on Wednesday. And for that, I have apologized to my team. I have apologized to Jordan. And, I wanted to take that a step further, with the event yesterday, with the video leaking, there is a huge embarrassment that comes with that. Not only for myself as I was the one that committed the action, the embarrassment that comes for me is what it is, and that's something that I have to deal with. But the embarrassment that Jordan has to deal with, and that this team has to deal with, this organization.
Facts, because you got to address the embarrassment that Jordan's going to have to deal with, because people going to be clowning him all season as the former just trash talking when he's on the court.
Has to deal with, but also Jordan's family. His family saw that video. His mother, his father saw that video.
And we're not going to sit here and watch this whole thing. I just wanted to get those first couple of moments and just to see what his vibe was and what his initial apology is going to be. I might watch this a little bit later, but for the sake of this video, I don't want to hold you all up. So a couple of my initial thoughts. One, if you want my real answer, this is wild and unacceptable behavior. But you can counter that with, because everybody was doing it, oh, well, Jordan punched Steve Kerr. Okay, sure. Still unacceptable behavior then. We just romanticized it into this, just uber competitive. He got that dog in him. We all saw The Last Dance, so we loved this moment. But, I mean, I thought it was still wild when I watched it then. I just wasn't really making content, so I didn't talk about it. The second part of this is that some current, but especially a lot of older players, and even some fans were like, well, that's just a part of the game. It's an uber competitive nature of being on the NBA team, especially a NBA team like the Warriors that's, won multiple championships in recent memory. Basically literally just won the championship last season. They are a highly competitive, highly talented team, and part of that, what makes you such a talented team, is having really competitive guys on your roster. So I get the idea of a scuffle, idea of even a pushing and shoving. I get that when it comes to basketball. What I just don't get is a full-blown punch, full body leaned into, punching him in his jaw, and now he's asleep on the ground. My third point, and probably the biggest surprise in all of this, surprised that Draymond punched a teammate? Unfortunately, no, because we talked about his perceived character, and I'm going to use the word perceived mainly because honestly, I don't know this man for real. All I know is what he puts out on his podcast. I know what he puts out in press interviews. I know what he puts out and how he conducts himself in the game. That's all I know. I don't know what he's really like. So I'm saying perceived character. But based on perceived character, no, I'm not shocked that he punched Jordan Poole in the face. But I am shocked of how the team was going to handle it if we never saw this video. If the NBA world never sees this video, Draymond Green is back with the Warriors come Saturday. Steve Kerr said it himself. He expects all this to be over, and Draymond Green is back with the Warriors on Saturday. Bob Myers himself said, he already apologized. Jordan Poole was in attendance. Which that wording also makes it seem like we don't even know if he apologized directly to Jordan Poole at the time of before that video came out. He just said Jordan Poole was in attendance and he apologized to the team. I don't know. But then that also makes you wonder, well, what the heck goes on behind other closed... But that also makes you think, what the heck really goes behind closed doors in some of these NBA organizations? I'm going to keep it a bean. If this was me, we couldn't be teammates again, bro. And am I saying, do I think they're going to trade Jordan Poole? Do I think they're going to trade Draymond Green? Honestly, as an organization standpoint, I don't expect anything for real to happen. Draymond just might not play again until the beginning of the season. Like, that's the most I see really happening from this. Now, Draymond Green did continue on to say later on this press conference that he is taking a break and he's stepping away from the team. He doesn't know how long that's going to be, so who knows when we're going to see him exactly. There's not a set date, but I don't think it's going to be for long. I get Richard Jefferson's point to an extent of, you know, we're coworkers, we're here to do a job, but I promise you, if you punch somebody in the face at your regular job, HR is pulling you to the side and you're fired. You're no longer work here. You're unemployed now, sir. And I get the NBA is not a regular job. There's only 450 spots. It's a dream job for kids all across the world. It's not a regular job. I get that. But it also shouldn't be a place where somebody can knock you out and just be cool with it if that video doesn't get leaked. That's the craziest part to me. For real, the craziest part to me is this isn't a story if the video doesn't get leaked, because we got the story. The story was Woj and Shams tweeting out that Draymond was in some sort of physical altercation with Jordan Poole and that the team is handling it internally. That was the whole story, and it was over and done with. I'm really stuck on it because it really does sound crazy to me. And I admit, it's not a world that I've ever come close to living in. It's not a world that would probably ever even witness myself, that hyper-competitive nature, the level of testosterone that's in those practices and stuff like that. But it's still, to me, there's no excuse. Personally, I'm really disappointed in Draymond. He's one of those players who I've always liked his game, just because I really love what he brings defensively. I think his value as a basketball player isn't always appreciated by the NBA fandom community. But as a person, as a, once again, perceived character, what you have put out for us to see of you so far, this ain't it, bro. This is whack. But I'm really curious what your thoughts are on the whole situation. Do you think Draymond Green should be suspended for a long time? Do you think Draymond Green and Jordan Poole can fix this and make it work? You know, as crazy as it sounds, I really do think they probably could make it work. Because the way everybody, other NBA player was talking, the way that this team, if the video never came out, was probably just going to brush past this and move on, at least from a organizational standpoint. I don't know Jordan Poole's exact feelings or thoughts on it. I don't think he spoke out yet, but if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm like, hey, yo, I'm not playing with this dude, bro. I don't know, bro. I really don't know. But at the same time, we just win a championship, and it's not crazy to say that if we play right, we could try to win another one. So this whole situation is crazy. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.